Previously on Deadlands, the Weird West.
And he's to say, I found this on the Paul Gentleman person. Seems like this might have been the area where he found this here suspicious rock. Yo guys recognize it, or?
I'm no expert, but I would in fact say it's a map. And it seems like this here cave might be the thing it's leading to. Now, don't go by my word, Pastor. You seem an expert on these matters.
That rock almost killed you, Charles. You really want to go looking for more?
Charles is gonna turn to the pastor and he's gonna say, you're a man of the church. Would you perhaps have any idea whether certain curses or terrible, occult spells could be lifted from, say, an object or maybe multiple objects of that kind?
There's a certain power vested in me by the Lord to remove vile inflictions that the devil has cast upon this world. I am what they call an exorcist, a cleanser, man of faith. And as such, I will aid you in this.
The cave sort of is how he sort of pans the lantern over. It's just like it's fairly high up. The roof of this cave is about let's call it 15 foot high, and it's kind of sprawls off into the darkness beyond the range of Houndy's lantern. There are a few sort of stalagmites. It's kind of like it's that sort of red sedimenty rock, like that kind of comes in layers.
Like a mesa.
And it seems pretty barren in here. Like there's no like signs of industry or real activity. However, you do notice, those of you that hit with a raise, that there are tracks leading off to one particular direction, which is from where you're standing, the top left-hand corner, that seems to be leading off into another bit of the tunnel network. And also, those of you who hit with a raise, you just about see him coming. We're in combat. So, what you see moving in the darkness, moving down the walls, you see sort of weird, chitinous, spider-like creatures. They're almost like facehuggers from Alien, actually. They kind of got a big splay of... It's like if... they're kind of like spider crabs, but spider crabs that you think could tear your neck out if you're not careful. They've got like big, powerful mandibles, and they are moving absolutely silently. But as you kind of look to see one of them, you hear a low hiss start to emanate from its body, and you see this. And now we're in combat. You hit a wall crawler square in like its abdomen, and it kind of loses its grip on the wall and hits the deck for a few seconds. But then its legs start twitching and it's kind of trying to get itself back up again.
God damn it!
In fact, that one will go now. It's going to try and unshake. So, spirit. It unshakes.
Shake it out. Shake it out. I will.
That's enough of that, you hear?
Yes. Taylor Swift drawer of the Southern States.
Jackie, what is your not your toughness, your parry, please?
My parry is a 5.
Okay, in that case, that is a hit.
Oh,
Oh, that's
no.
not good. I felt like 5 was in fact a
It's
high
pretty-
number. It's about as
It's
high as I
pretty
can
good.
count.
Whoa.
They
Oh.
offered me a 6, but I've never heard of such a confabulation.
Is Toto just sat in front of you, Will?
Yeah, he's just decided he's part of this video now. I've moved him about 4 times, and he's just sat right back down
And
again.
what's your toughness, please?
My toughness is 6.
Okay. Okay, so you're not wounded, but you are shaken. Basically, a wall crawler makes a leap off the wall, and with a hiss, just oh no, sorry, it's the one that was on the floor. Gets up, scrabbles over up your leg, and just goes and sinks its fangs into your thigh.
Okay.
Now let's see.
I would advise you do not eat that vomit.
Yes, you must wait until you are married to be counting out that kind of activity.
Okay.
It's long by its best before.
That's illegal in some states.
Howdy, what's your parry?
It's only 2.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. What's
Yeah, I know,
what's
I'm
your toughness
surprised.
there, buddy?
5.
Okay. Yeah.
To be fair, it's hard for me to defend myself.
You are shaken as well. Again, you don't take a wound, but let's say one of them goes and like gets you in the calf. It kind of scrabbles up and like latches into your calf. So both of you are shaken. Basically, it means that you need to pass a spirit roll on your next turn in order to be able to act. That's just what that means. Virtue, what is your parry, please?
My parry is 2.
Wowee, okay. And what is your toughness?
My toughness is... Oh god, what the hell? What just happened? Wait, sorry. There we go. My toughness is 4.
Okay.
No, you get comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah,
So maybe we should talk about how soak rolls work. Because...
That doesn't sound good.
What is that, mate?
So you know how I've always told you that the Savage World system can be a bit swingy?
Of course, yeah, that's definitely a thing that I've remembered.
I've definitely talked about this in videos before. Basically, you're about to take 23 points of damage, which is enough to kill you. So let's try and make you a little soak roll, shall we? Let me just pull up the stats on this.
Wow. These here vomits can really
They
go
really
for
can.
it,
It's
huh?
almost like I threw them at you, remembering that they weren't as tough as they actually are. Ding. Okay, just give me 1 sec.
Sure thing, Sheriff.
Thank
Marshal.
you.
Yeah,
Where is the where do we find damage? Is what I'm asking. I have
Yeah,
no
do
idea
we
how much
help?
health I actually
So
have.
basically, if your toughness is exceeded, you're shaken. If your toughness is exceeded
okay.
with a raise, that's 1 wound. You can take 3 wounds. On your 4th, you get incapacitated and start making death saves. So with a toughness of 4, shaken, first wound at 8, 12, 16, 20. So yeah, that's 4 wounds. That's enough to incapacitate him. So
Yes.
basically, a soak roll is you spend a Benny to make a vigor check, and each success and raise will reduce the number of wounds you suffer from this attack by 1, which I think we can all agree is quite handy for you, Wheels, right now, because you're about to take 4 wounds and become incapacitated. So you will have to spend a Benny to do it. If you're not happy with your vigor roll, you can spend further bennies to re-roll that vigor roll.
Well, you'll be delighted to know that I have a D4 in vigor. Okay, Toto, I do need some room to roll now. So.
Looks like the
Right.
Lord's not on your side today, Pastor.
Well, he works in mysterious ways, as I said. Those ways do sometimes include letting people die.
Mandibles.
Now let's... So I need... Wait, so explain to me this again. Sorry, I need
Roll a D.
at least a success to stop me getting incapacitated.
So roll a D4 and a D6.
And
then every raise is an additional wound
will be another wound. Okay,
taken
cool.
off.
I got a 4 on the D4.
Great.
And a 1
So
on
roll
the
the
6.
D4 again.
That's great.
Oh, they explode. Yeah, okay. That's another 4.
Keep going.
That's a
Okay, so that's 2 wounds taken off. So
Okay.
basically, you take 2 wounds.
So I'm
A
at
-2 to
now.
everything, yeah. And you're shaken.
Okay. Okay. What does that mean?
You'll have to pass a spirit check in order to
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah,
unshake
spirit.
at the
Yeah.
start there. Yeah, spirit's fine. Spirit's absolutely fine. Okay, so that was my 10. So 9 is it's you, Virtue.
What is
So
me,
just
of
make me a
course.
spirit check. This is
Okay, but with a -2.
yes, because of your wounds.
All right. Well, I have a D12 in spirit,
Whoa!
as I'm sure you
Yes.
can imagine.
Spirit out the wazoo.
That is a 7.
Okay, so yes, you successfully unshake, and you can act.
All right. So, now what?
So now you can do whatever you like.
How much can I do on my turn?
Basically, you can take a major action like shooting or casting a spell or whatever. You can move, you can talk. Additional actions incur multi-action penalties. So if you were to, say, throw a stick of dynamite and shoot a gun, both of those rolls would be at -2, unless I let you off the throwing roll, because I think you're going to try and shoot a stick of dynamite.
Okay, so if I were to cast Smite on my weapon and then shoot that weapon, I would get a multi.
Yes, you
turn
would be at
penalty.
-2 to both of those rolls, which would be a total of -4 with
As
your
well
wounds.
as, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to wield my crucifix and cast protection.
That's yeah, I've heard worse ideas than that.
Yeah. So just in case, protection basically means that while I'm using this power, the individual may take no other actions, may not move, but a supernatural creature that wants to directly attack a character using protection must first win an opposed test of its spirit versus
That
the
is
target's
very
arcane skill.
smart. Very good.
Hmm.
And I get +2 because I'm wielding my
Okay,
crucifix.
well that's great. Cool. Very smart. That is your go then. 8.
Mm.
All right,
It's me.
spirit roll please to unshake.
So I have combat reflexes, which gives me +2 to recover from being
damn.
shaken as well. And you said spirit. Okay, so it's a D. I don't roll a 6 with this, do I?
Yes, you do always.
Oh, I do. Okay. Hey! Oh, okay. I rolled a 4 and a 4 and
Okay,
the
so
6
keep
and the
going.
6.
Wow.
A 6 on
Keep
the 6 again, and a 1 on the 4, and a 1 on the
Okay.
6.
I mean, it's academic with the way Savage Worlds works now. Like you either unshake or you don't. So you unshake and you can act.
Right, I'm gonna have to put down the lantern on the floor, and I'm gonna draw. And I've got a quick draw thing as well, so I'm gonna draw my Lamat carbine and shoot it at the one that's after biting the pastor.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh,
make me-
don't miss.
That is what Pastor is for, to be fair.
Make me a shooting roll.
Shooting, I've got a D8.
Have we clarified why you need to put the lantern down, by the way? I don't think we actually said, did we?
No, I haven't said. No, I've only got one arm.
Howdy has got one arm, which
I did mean to say that in my introduction, and then I forgot, and then I was like, well, now it's just weird if I bring it up, so...
I mean, hopefully some people notice that you are really playing it method and you're keeping one of your arms inside your shirt sleeve.
Oh yeah, like my arm is... Like, I can't actually use my... Like, I physically can't use it right now.
No, she physically amputated herself before the show.
That's what took me an hour to get ready.
Oh, I thought it was the bald
Whoa.
The
cap.
bone saw takes a long old time to get through.
Right, I rolled a 5 on my 8 and a 5 on my 6.
Yeah, that's a hit. Roll me your damage, please.
That's 2d8. Oh, that's a 6. And a 4, that's 10.
It is 10. You shake it again. Basically, it just like it scutters off into the darkness and kind of is. It looks visibly kind of confused. I guess you've confused it with a bullet. That's yeah. Sure, why not? You confused a bug with a bullet. And that was you, right? That was you done. Okay, so
yes.
I've got 2 more.
Oh my goodness, how many of these
5.
are there?
A lot of them.
Oof.
What's your parry, please, McGinty? Are you already
6.
shaken? Okay, cool.
Nope.
Your parry is 6. Okay, so that exceeds. And then it's damage. What's your toughness?
5.
Okay, so that is not with a raise. You are also shaken. These guys are mean. Like, one of them lands on your shoulder and kind of looks you in the eye and gives like a little hiss, and then just bites you in the shoulder. You're like, because there's a varmint on your blooming shoulder.
There's a varmint.
Okay, that's those cards done with. We go again.
Pour some vomit
So,
on me.
Howdy, you're on a 5. And Jackie, that's a Jack.
Jackie for a
Jack for a Jackie. That's an ace for you, McGinty. I'm afraid it's a bad thing.
The opposite of a Jack.
4 for you, Pastor.
Howdy do.
Okay, and this lot aren't doing brilliantly either, to be perfectly honest with you. So...
Can I spend one of my bennies
Absolutely,
to go higher?
yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do that, because
That's
one
an
is
8.
garbage. No,
Yeah.
that'll do.
Can I also do
yeah,
one?
you were on a 5, weren't you?
I was
Now
on
it's
5.
4.
Oh.
You can keep the 5 if you want. Okay, great.
Yes, I will.
If you want. You don't have to. Like...
Okay. Let's go with this one. So I get 1 crack at you before you get to act. How did it work to attack you again, Pastor? Because this is a supernatural creature, so if it tries to attack you...
Oh, right, got it. Okay, sorry, yeah. So, a supernatural creature that wants to directly attack me must first win an opposed test of its spirit versus my
spirit
arcane
versus
skill.
your faith.
And I get... Yeah, and I get a +2, which negates my wound because I'm holding my crucifix.
Roll me your spirit then, please.
That, as you can... My faith, as you can also imagine, is a D12.
Faith, sorry, not spirit.
Unshakable. Oh, balls. That is a 1 on the D12.
Oh, and what about...
And a 3 on the 6.
Not good.
Okay.
Sounds like...
I might penny that.
Maybe.
Penny that.
Wow.
That's a 2 on the D12.
Uh-huh.
And a 1 on the 6.
Holy cow.
What's your parry?
Fired.
What's your parry again? 2?
That's 2, yeah.
We played Deadlands and we killed a holy man.
Okay, no, it's fine. I rolled a 3, which is... it exceeds your parry, but isn't a success. So, it misses, basically. Let's say that it is the burning light of the Lord in your heart that makes it kind of like, it misses with a swipe of its horrible, horrible little jaws. So counting down from that, no one's got a queen. Jack was Jackie, right? Okay.
It's me.
What are we saying, Jackie?
Now, Marshall, tell me if I can do this. I have in my possession a whip. I also have in my possession a knife. I would like to whip one of these varmints, pull it towards me, and impale it.
Okay, so that's going to be multi-action again. But both of these would be a fighting roll, which, as I understand it, is a better stat for you.
It is indeed. I've got a D6
so
in fighting.
For some reason, I thought you were going to attach the knife to the end of the whip.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Yeah,
that's where
also
my
too.
brain went as well. So yeah,
Which is such a Matt Jarvis move.
so -2 to each of these attacks.
I'm sorry to disappoint. Okay, I'll roll 2d6 for this. Oh, I rolled a 6 and
so
a
that's the
3.
whip. So roll the 6 again.
I rolled a 2, so
8.
I got an 8.
So -2 is a success, but not with a raise. So yes, you whip it. Whip it real good.
Whip it. Whip it real good.
Look around.
And then make me the roll for the knife as well.
Okay. I don't know what that is. Damage is strength plus D4. I should have probably.
It's
written it
fighting
down
again.
somewhere. Oh, okay. That makes it easy. It's 2d6. I rolled a 1 and a 4.
Okay, that is a miss with the knife because you're.
I will
Okay.
Benny it. I'm down to 2 bennies now, I believe.
Yeah, we're going through the bennies.
Oh, it's that or I end up like the here pasta. Oh dear. I got a double 3.
Okay, so you miss with the knife. However, you still get to do damage with the whip. So let me just look up the whip damage. Whip damage is strength plus D4.
Strength plus D4. Yeah. My strength is D6.
Okay. So D6 and a D4, add them both together. If you ace, you can only ace damage dice once.
Okay. I rolled a 3 and a 1, so I did 4 damage.
Is that actually a rule or is that my house rule? I think that's my house rule rather than a Savage Worlds rule, that you can only ace damage dice once. But it's meant to stop things like somebody taking 23 damage at the start of a combat from happening. But Savage Worlds! Okay.
Well, they
So
are
you've done
savage.
4 damage to one of the wall crawlers. You kind of open up a big slash on its back, and it writhes. And it's like, you get the impression, it's kind of like if you leave a sealed can of beans over a fire for too long, and they they split. Like, that's actually what it reminds you of, McGinty. It's like when you get a split in the seam, and suddenly, like, it kind of goes like, oh, and forms a bulge through which all the beans start to froth and bubble.
That's bad. That's
all the
bad
insides
night.
of this wall crawler start to just and it dies a horrible bubbly death. So that's.
I didn't think you heated your beans. They always seem to
Sometimes he treats himself.
Yeah, he didn't want to lay a fire and potentially get sighted through that.
It's a treat to heat.
Okay, so next up is our 8, which is
Yeah.
go McGinty. So you were shaken, weren't you?
Yeah, he's got to roll a
Spirit roll,
spirit.
please.
Which luckily he's rather good at. 5.
Okay, yep, you're fine. You can act.
Okay. He's gonna shoot again. Oh, can he move away from the skitterers?
Yeah, sure.
Actually?
Yeah, that's you can always move up to your movement for free.
Actually, can he? Yeah, can he move and then can he use his Bowie knife to stab at this one?
Yeah,
that's on his
absolutely.
shoulder? I'm
Don't
fling it off.
crit fail. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
So that's fighting, I believe. Which I have a D8.
Tremendous.
Here we go. I rolled a 6. Oh,
Roll
my
again.
6. A
Tremendous.
5.
So 6. 11. Hey, that's a hit with a raise. So roll me the damage and add an extra d6. So that's strength plus d4 plus 6 plus 1.
Yes. So my strength is a D6.
Great, so 2d6 plus d4 plus 1 damage. McGinty with a knife, my goodness.
Shanking.
My God, McGinty with the knife!
Jesus!
With the steel knife!
Okay, I rolled. So I just tell you the highest result.
Add all of them together.
Oh, it's damage. That's 9 damage.
Damage. That will absolutely do it.
Actually, that's 10 damage.
Then it will
plus
definitely do it.
Yeah.
McGinty kind of backs up and goes to a cave wall and just kind of impales the wall crawler against the soft rock. It gives an absolutely hideous hiss as it dies, and similar again, you get sort of gut beans just around the knife and start dripping onto the floor. Do you have a quip for us, McGinty? Do you say anything to this wall crawler?
He's gonna say. No.
Nah.
I would say you're the splitting image of a disgusting little bug.
Wow, I am so glad we waited all that time.
Worth it, yeah,
I
definitely
bet
worth
it was glad it was dead rather than hear that thing, because it probably would have died on
You know
hearing
what,
it.
McGinty? You can have a Benny because you didn't give up.
Thanks!
Okay, so yeah, that's McGinty done. Who's on the 5? All right.
Me, sir. I'm gonna shoot
Okay.
another one. Who have we got left here?
There are 3 of them left. One is still on the thigh of Jackie, I believe, and the other
right,
2. One is close to. One is shaken because it got confused by a bullet, and it hasn't acted
shadows.
yet. That's kind of off in the corner, so that would probably be the best one for you to go for.
Of my life.
I've been shaken.
I think I'll. Actually, I'll
Okay.
go for that one. I was contemplating going for the one on Matt's leg, but I'd assume that he probably wants to stab him on his turn.
Do you get both? You attack someone that's shaken?
Yeah, basically all you need to do is exceed their toughness, whereas ordinarily to cause a wound you have to exceed their toughness with a raise.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, here we go. That's an 8 on the 8. That's another 8 on the 8. Oh, that was cocked. And a 2 on the 8.
My goodness.
So 18. So it's you're shooting it, right?
3, 4. Yes.
So that's 2 raises. So roll me your damage and add 2d6 on top of it.
Whoa.
Ooh. Oh, okay. That's 12.
Yes, that comfortably kills it. In fact, it just explodes. Like a tin of beans that has been left in the fire, in the middle of the fire too long. Like, you don't even get a chance for it to split and bubble. It just from nowhere.
I chuckle.
Cool.
Yep.
This amuses me greatly.
Yeah, it seems like it does,
you'll forgive me if I don't give you a Benny for that one. Who's last? We're on the.
What is the honourable pastor John? What's my surname? Virtue. I was about to call myself John Justice. I don't know.
Funny middle name your parents gave you.
Sounds like a superhero for like really young kids.
John Justice, or like a Phoenix Wright character. Anyway,
Yeah.
Sounds like a TV judge.
Yeah.
It does. The more that I'm realizing that like the depths of hell are so deep in this infernal cave, the Lord cannot reach me. I must fight with steel and with lead. I pull out my gun. I'm gonna shoot the nearest one.
Alrighty. So, full disclosure, my headphones fell out of the PC at that point. So, are you making a shooting attack? Okay, great.
Yes.
Sorry, I feel like
Yes,
I
I
really
am.
undermined you there, but it's because I didn't hear you. And because I could see you gesticulating a lot, I was like, this is going to be quite big, I think. And then I just heard ooting when I came back in.
No. I would like to be rooting
Oh, okay.
tooting.
If you
Not
make me...
shooting.
Yeah, make me a rooty tooty check.
Yeah, no, I've got a plus
brilliant.
8
Yeah,
on that,
cool,
actually. So I get a -2 for this
Yeah.
as well, right? And I've only got a D4 in shooting,
Yeah.
so let's see how this works. That's my best result was a 5, but I got a 1 on the D4.
Okay, that's just a miss, unfortunately. Another...
Okay.
As you miss... which one were you shooting at?
The one that wasn't on that.
Okay. So there's one not on that, and there is one on that. Okay.
Mhm.
And the one that is on that hasn't gone, because it would probably try and bite him again. So... what's your parry again?
My parry is a 5.
Okay, that's that's succeeded. So your toughness is what?
My toughness is 6.
Okay, that has bit. I'm afraid.
I don't like the sound of that.
Nor should you. Sorry, what was your toughness? It was 6.
My toughness is 6, yeah.
Yeah, because it's tough, jerky-like skin.
That's it.
You don't really have to like bite through to get through the crust.
If you pickle someone enough, you'd be surprised.
Okay, so the wall crawler it rears its head back, and you sense a slight hesitation. It's like, do I really want to bite this again? It's like, bites you a second time, shaking you again, but not wounding you, which is quite impressive because I'm rolling it. These things roll a D10 and a D8 on damage. Yeah, they're hardcore.
We need to start killing these varmint before they start working that gherkin.
I'm trying, holy man.
I do not want any of these varmints working my gherkin, thank you.
Oh
Okay, one last
goodness.
round, probably. Howdy, you're on 10. Jackie, you're on a 9. McGinty's on a 7.
Yep.
The past is on a 5. Not terrible. Let's see what these two are doing. Ooh, dear. Okay. Oh, that's a 1. The wall crawler that is not on Jackie leaps into the nearest wall, does a lunging bite out at McGinty and just headbutts the wall, and is shaken. So that's that one. 10. Howdy.
But not stirred.
Yeehaw!
Oh, howdy.
So there's one on...
There's one on Jackie, and there's one shaken
What's it?
by the wall near McGinty.
I'm going to shoot the one on Jackie. Sir.
Do not, under any circumstance, roll a 1 on your shooting die, because this counts as firing into melee. And if you roll a 1, an innocent bystander will be hit. And there are...
I
Oh,
rolled
goodness.
max on both my dice.
Keep going.
Now I rolled a 1 on the 8 and a 3
Okay,
on the 6.
so 6, 7, 8, 9. You still... you hit, which is good. It's not with a raise. But yeah, roll your damage. Oh wait, hang on a minute. No, wait, sorry, that is with a raise. What am I talking about? Yeah, you hit with a raise. Roll damage with an extra d6.
10.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. It's... Jackie, you would think it looked really, really cool if it wasn't your leg that this thing was being shot off. But basically, the head of this wall crawler just, comes off and it spins off like a little firework full of beans. And sort of bubbles on the floor. I'm going to say we're out of combat, actually, because the other one is shaken.
I'd like to just say, sorry, as I shoot, I'd like to, cackle and be like, yeehaw! I'm having myself a hot killing time, yo!
If the presumably it splatters me in blood because it was on my leg. My poncho is already very raggedy from being buried and rotted multiple times, but as it's covered in viscera, I'm just like, I can't believe you made a mess of my clothes.
Where did these terrible varmints come from? I've never seen anything like this before. And Charles nudges one with his foot.
The last one is shaken, by the way, but not dead. Are you finishing it off?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Charles is gonna stamp on it.
Okay.
Power move.
Yeah. So McGinty's like, where did these come from? Grinding his heel into the corpse of a wall crawler.
Oh my word!
And you hear a voice from the back of the cave answer your question. And you just hear a voice go, "They live on the other side of the cave. That's why we don't go there. And if you'd look, it's at the end of the trail of tracks you saw going off into the cave. You see a man sort of wearing just basically, he looks like what was once a pair of trousers, but now they're held together on like by whispers and prayers. Basically, he just wears these really ragged trousers. On top, he's quite sallow. He's quite thin, but he's got sort of matted long hair. And he's got a few days stubble on him. But he just looks to you and goes, "Come," and beckons you further into the cave.
Well, no, now, son, now. And I holster my gun. You all right? You look worse for wear. Seems like the devil has you in a stranglehold.
I am fine.
Well,
Now, see here, boy. Now, you carry on now, Charles.
I mean, I'm not proud or anything, but do you live here, or are there more of you?
Come.
Okay. Charles follows, but keeping his gun out.
Well, now, just wait a moment. Now, what the hell is going on
else,
here?
So what's everyone else doing? Hang on. You're standing there and having a tanty.
I'm gonna just turn to the pastor and be like, just shut your big bazoo and come on.
What?
And I walk off.
Whoa!
Jackie, how are you dealing with this little split in the party?
I think Jackie is gonna just pull out a stick of dynamite as protection and nod at the pastor.
Who are you protecting by holding down?
I hold it like the pastor holds his crucifix, just out in front, like it's gonna ward off any potential danger.
Rocks.
The stranger kind of turns back and sees that, there are guns and dynamite drawn, and kind of just gives a sage chuckle and just carries on walking back into the cave. You go a little way before you see there's actually a light that comes from round a bend into like a little alcove. Pastor, are you still standing there sermonizing, or are you going to come with? Okay.
I'll come with. Not particularly happy about it, but I'll come with.
He leads you around the corner, and you enter sort of a small cave, or sort of a bit of the cave. It sort of widens out, and there is a low campfire, and there are about half a dozen people sat around it, all of them looking like similarly hermity, like they're wearing clothes that are just like quite shabby, but the place around is quite nice. Like there are some bedrolls, and there's like a low camp stove, and they've got like a weird stew on the boil, and they're kind of all sat round. There's even a kettle with coffee. And the man turns and goes, "Please sit with us. As you can see, we mean you no harm. We can't even threaten you." And he just sits down expectantly.
Yeah, I sit down.
Okay. And Charles sits down and looking around the group. Is there someone who looks like, with the guy who led us here, does he look like the leader of the group?
No, not necessarily. They kind of all look. There is one guy who's got a battered old hat, not unlike this one, who's watching you. He seems a bit more kind of switched on. Seems like a more normal kind of guy.
Yeah, Charles is gonna turn to him and go, what would I call you, sir?
Oh, me? Oh, geez. I guess you could call me Buck.
Buck. Nice to meet you, Buck. Is this your community here? You live here?
I suppose you could call us a community. Yeah. We've some people here, like the gentleman you just met, they've been living out here for a long time. Me, I only joined about 2 years back, but yeah, a community. That's a nice word for it.
Not to offend or anything, but why do you choose to lay your bedrolls under here in the darkness with all those terrible insects crawling around?
Well, why do you choose to lay your head down in that there city with all them snakes crawling around in it? See,
I chuckle.
See, he spits. It's like, I used to live in a big city. I used to think myself a big man, important, well-to-do man around town, and then one day I looked up and just thought, why am I doing this? I got sick of always grinding for money, for fighting anyone that looked at me funny and insulted my honor, and I just thought, this ain't for me. So I struck out. Now looking for a place to lead a simple life, and that's when I found these good folk, and I learned to live at peace with myself and those around me. So we don't bother the wall crawlers, and they don't bother us. We don't go into their territory, and well, they leave ours alone.
With all due respect, sir, it is but the movement of good men to do nothing that lets evil thrive. And I must say that those things are indeed evil.
Well, he reaches for a bowl and a ladle. He starts spooning out food to everyone. It's like, evil, if you'll pardon me, Pastor, is a matter of perspective. They've never done us harm, and we never done them harm. They meant you harm, you did them harm. Sure, that's the way you want to play it. That's the kind of economy you can get yourself into. But like I say, we're just trying to live a simple, quiet life. We don't want nobody bothering us, and we won't bother anyone else. That's what the sign's for. Government. Clever, eh?
Oh, so you, yes. I thought that was mighty clever. We took a lot of our strength to try and overcome the warning that you put there, I must say. Yes, it was very good. Yeah, I mean, fair enough with the insects. Maybe we disturb their nesting. Have you perhaps seen a very old man, very long, filthy beard, goes by the name Jenkins?
He exchanges a meaningful glance with an old lady who has not spoken. He goes, yes, he came through here. Why, it would have been just yesterday, I suppose. He'd been poking around here a while, but he didn't seem to bother the wall crawlers, and he certainly didn't seem to want to talk to us, so we let him be. But that boy was he was poking his head into all sorts of little darkened caves here, little corners of our little home. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's come to some harm by now.
You'd be right about that. Can you what can you tell us about this? And Jackie would stow the dynamite, and they pull out the lump of gold, and they're like, I would advise that you if you mean to stay on this earth and not join some of your warcrawler friends there, that you do not try to take this from me. And I would advise you not to try anything on me, because you may find me harder to kill than you
He
expect.
looks at the gold, and he looks up at you and just goes, friend, let me tell you, I have no use for that, nor do I have desire to take it from you. He turns to the woman at the campfire and he goes, you were right. I objected, but you were right. Yeah, see, I suspected that old man may have found what we found maybe 6 months back. Rich old seam of gold. Just in back of the cave, if you can get past the wall crawlers, and it's right there for the chiseling out of the ground. And, well, the day we found that, we knew that spelt trouble. Folks from that there Yuma down the way, they get word that there's gold in this cave. It's over for us. They'll come in, take what's ours, run us out. We'll go back to living life in Babylon. So my friend here, she had to talk me into it, believe you me, but she put a little protection, you may call it, on the gold. Make sure anyone who took it, they'd never want to come back and take it again.
Are you saying she's some kind of witch?
Well, I don't know. I don't like to put labels on people. She is who she is. You look over at her, and she's not really looking at you, but she's kind of got her hands sort of clasped together. She's wearing like a big, grubby, very large-sleeved sort of overcoat, and you notice that in her hands she's got a deck of cards, and she's just giving them. She's quietly just shuffling them, like softly.
Yeah. Charles looks very he looks bemused by this statement. Yeah, but he turns to the guy, Buck, and he says, "No, I suppose we all have to have fail-safes in place, but I would say that this whatever's happened here with this gold has caused quite a bit of trouble in that neighboring town. You were, although not through my doing, I assure you. I would say that maybe we could come to some sort of agreement."
Well, what old trouble happened?
Well, somebody, and Charles turns and looks at Jackie, may have spread this here damaged gold around a little bit, and I think a few people may have got a hold of it. Innocent people who have no knowledge of this here gold mine.
Well, no, but I'm asking. What trouble did the gold do?
Now,
No,
Charles, let
on.
us not beat around the burning bush. This witch here has caused a murder in our town.
He pauses. The guy he's talking to, he's like, a murder. Well,
That's right. This old man Jenkins that you know of, he has died because of your actions.
he looks like
Prospecting man.
he looks over at the woman. She kind of looks up at him, and you see like a smirk just like out the corner of her mouth plays in there for a second. He goes, "Now, Marcia, you told me this was going to keep people away. You didn't tell me you were going to kill nobody." And she just doesn't say anything. She just keeps shuffling the cards.
He leans in to Mr. Virtue leans in to sort of like avoid the ears of this martial woman and says, "Now listen here, son. You said you don't like labels on people. There's only two that matter to me. There's the flock, and they are the sinners. And if you find yourself in the congregation of sinners, you might just find yourself in the congregation of that eternal damnation as well."
Pastor, if you're looking to threaten me, I already told you. We got nothing. We want nothing except to be alone. We got no weapons. We got no desire to fight you. Frankly, if you want to knock me into the dirt and beat me unconscious right now, you can do it. So why don't you quit your posturing and just tell me what you want? And we can all go back to living our lives.
We need this despicable curse lifted so that the people of our small town do not find themselves dying of some awful heart attack because of the despicable curse that has been placed on these mere minerals.
We'd also be more than happy to take the gold and not
Yeah,
tell anyone about the whereabouts where we got it.
Yes, it would no longer be a problem to y'all. I promise we would not mention a soul if you were. And Charles looks over to John and says, "If you were to lift this curse and solve this problem that you caused,
This problem
we
that
would,
I've caused, please."
well, your lady here's caused."
Your witch.
That gold was doing nothing. It was just sitting in the ground.
Well, it will do nothing away
Seems to
from
me
you.
your flock member brought it on himself. Now listen, in the way I see it, we'll lift the protection we have on our gold. In agreement, you will help keep people away from here. Tell them it's haunted. Tell them there is some terrible thing that lives in the darkness. Scare people away from coming back up here. And there'll be no need for further difficulties, either on our territory or yours. As for the gold, that stays here. Why should we let you plunder what is naturally abundant here, when all we've been doing is just living our normal lives? I don't see what you've earned coming in here and threatening us. We'll do what you ask, but we ain't gonna pay you for it.
Well, you're asking us to keep people away from this cave. I think that is much more of a problem than for us, some town we have little to no connection to. I have no problem letting these people die if it means that we can take away some of that gold.
No.
Well, now, hold on.
This is the problem. See, we're asking you to keep people away from this cave if we drop the protection. If we don't drop the protection, it seems to me that there's a mighty fine reason people won't want to come to this cave anyway. That is to say, they'll drop dead.
Well, only certain people, you might say. And then I just kind of gesture with the gold to make it clear that it's not affecting me. I don't think that leaving your little curse or what have you on this gold is going to help you in the long run. Eventually, there will be enough people who find a way around it, who do not care for your lives, what little they mean to anybody, and come and take it whether you want them to or not. So I think we could come to some agreement. You let the pastor have his ridiculous saving the flock thing to take to his lord, and you let us, people who depend on the more material rewards, take a little, not all of it, but just take a little for our time and the trouble we have been through coming here, and also your expectations of us.
Listen, friend, as far as I see it, if that's so, and if people are going to come here and value our lives cheaply, as frankly you already seem to do, then that's the way of it.
Well, Charles cuts in and goes, well, now, we don't value in anybody's lives cheaply. After all, the pastor here values the lives of the people in that town, which is why he's asking if you could kindly remove this here curse that you yourself wasn't expecting it to do what it did. And our fellow here, even though he's a little bit crude in his words, we value your lives in that we would assist you in preventing people bothering you anymore. All we ask is a little bit of value of our lives, and it takes just a small amount of this here gold that you frankly, like you said, have absolutely no use of.
We so.
Can Charles roll persuasion,
yes.
or?
That's cocked.
Oh, I rolled a 1 on my skill die.
That's fine. What about the wild?
5.
Okay. I also rolled a 5. So we're evenly matched.
Okay. I don't know if there's a... I have +2 persuasion made to a network or criminal.
It's not really a criminal.
No.
Okay. Let me have a think.
Well, I mean, possession is 9/10 of the law now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody owns this.
True. He did commit a crime. Technically, he has committed a crime. He has murdered someone. Technically.
I would suggest
yeah, go on. Yeah.
Consider this offer.
I'll take that. He goes, I pity you people. I really do.
Oh, please pity us. We're literally asking for we are asking for a bit of mercy from y'all.
All right. Did you see the chunk of gold in your hand? You can take that much more again. And that's all.
And this lady here, she will lift this here curse.
As soon as you have taken it, and this one walks out with it. I ain't having you all stuffing your pockets and walking out here thinking you pulled one over our eyes. So.
I will be in agreement.
Now, just explain something to me, will you? Huh? Just one thing. Now, I don't likely pose much of a threat to you. Huh? You got no earthly possessions that you care about. Well, let me tell you that neither do I. There is one kingdom that I worry about, and that is the kingdom of God. But I do have just one question, because there's something that doesn't sit right with me. What exactly is making you so intent on keeping this here gold, the source of your problems in this here cave? Why are you so determined to make sure that we don't get rid of it? Now, as far as I'm damn concerned, they could bury it out in the desert. I'd never see it again. Why exactly is it that you are so concerned with it staying in this here cave, huh?
I just don't believe in disturbing the natural order of things. That's why we didn't fight the wall crawlers. That's why we didn't take the gold. And if it may as well be buried in the desert to you, then why not just left here in the wall? All I'm saying is, you claim that man has dominion over everything. This ain't your property. This ain't anyone's property. Property is a myth.
In that case, there's no reason why we can't take some more. It don't belong to you, as you say.
Nah, come on now. This man has been totally reasonable with what he's offered us. I really think we should push him any more than he's been pushed today. And Charles is looking seriously at Jackie. Being like,
You do see the woman by the fire is watching quite intently now. And like you see him, like, he gestures to Marsha, being like he's evidently trying to keep a lid on her.
I mean, let's take the damn gold and leave. Let Pastor have his curse lifted. And if it turns out that there's something up with this gold, we know where they are. And we can tell the others where they are as well. We'll hold them to that.
The man nods, like, much obliged. So he leads you. He stands and he leads you to where the gold is. There's a discarded mattock near the wall, so you can chip out another chunk of gold about that size. He nods to be like,
yeah.
Well, one question. This lump of gold in my hand may be slightly smaller than when it left this cave. May I take a little extra to replace those bits?
No, sir. You leave with as much as you brought. If you...
Okay, well, unless you've got scales, you'll have to compare them by eye. So I'd like to take just a little bit more than I should have.
Yeah, sure. Let me make a notice check.
You're a fine chiseler.
He looks at it. And he looks up at you and he just gives you a sad smile. He's like, sure, they look even to me.
Thank you kindly.
Wonderful. Now, shall we get going? And then you upheld your end of the bargain, remove this here curse on this gold and on the gold that other people may be carrying, and we will assure everyone else that there's nothing following them here. In fact, it's a very bad idea to come here.
I'd be much obliged. Frankly, I hope I never see you again in my life.
The feeling is very much mutual.
Now, would
or
you...
me and any of mine.
Now, would you permit me just one final question? How exactly do we know that you have upheld your end of the bargain?
Pastor, hold this.
Now.
You see, he nods to Marsha. Marsha flips up a playing card and then kind of does like that sleight of hand trick I can't do, as if to disappear it, but the card instead goes in a little puff of smoke. And the dude, like, he walks over, picks up the chunk of gold from your hand, and puts it back in yours.
Well, I think we can agree that this has been a very fruitful exchange, and we're going to give a bid good day to y'all and your fine community, and leave here. Now, I wondered whether I could just keep that safe from y'all there, Jackie.
I don't think so.
Charles holds out his hand.
Charles, you must be kidding me.
I really don't know why you would think that.
What on earth do you mean?
though I hate to say it, I will give one of these to the pastor, knowing that he's an upstanding member, and that one of the commandments he will not break. So, Pastor, you hold on to this and make sure you hold on to it.
Well, hold on. I was just about to say we should split this in 3, not including the pastor, who has no interest in material possessions.
Exactly, so we can work out.
It's like a Mexican standoff in here. Could we please decide about this outside of the cave, perhaps?
Let us leave.
Okay, so you continue bickering as you leave the cave, as you retrieve your mounts, and as you start riding away from the cave. You going back toward Yuma? Okay.
No.
No?
Oh no, Charles.
Certainly not.
Charles is gonna. Charles is gonna stop partway, like along the track, and gesture to Howdy to come over beside him, and he's gonna say, "Now, we had an agreement."
Sure did.
Looking at Jackie, opens his hand.
So, can I just double check? Jackie still has all the gold, right? You didn't give any to the pastor.
I gave one. So yeah, I gave. Let's say I gave the pastor a slightly bigger chunk, and I go, "Fair's fair," and throw you the other lump.
Who?
Just say, well, either of you. I'll just throw it roughly towards you. I don't care. It's like as soon as it's left my hand, it's no concern of mine.
So you're not keeping any of it?
No, the pastor still has the bigger lump, but I throw you two who are riding off the other chunk, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
I've thrown it to you.
So Charles will catch it, and he's going to do a notice check.
Okay. Yep.
On it to see. I rolled a 1 on my skill die and a 4 on the 4.
So roll the 4 again. Okay.
2.
So yeah, what were you looking to?
The size of it.
Oh, if it's the bigger or the smaller. Which one is it? It's the smaller.
It's the smaller.
Can you check if he took any of that smaller bit though?
I wouldn't have, if that makes any difference. Like I wouldn't have chipped any more off because it was already smaller.
You are you're so kind of preoccupied with all of this gold and weighing it up that you don't realize anyone is there until you practically ride into them. Your horses kind of and stop because in front of you there are 7 horses with 7 men on them, and one of them is bald and very muscly, and he has a flannel shirt on. He's got a bowie knife at his back, and he's got a shotgun across his lap, and goes, "Well, now I believe I'll just be taking all of that for myself, you dirty son of a bitch." And I think...
Oh, Carl! It's so nice
I think we will call it there and come back to this in the next exciting installment of Cowboys Squabble About Money.
Now see here!
So yeah, that was the first 3 episodes, I guess, of our 6-episode run of Deadlands Weird West. Thank you all very much for watching, and thank you all for being such a fantastic money-obsessed posse.
Thank you.
The bald wig is too much. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, we've got loads more for you to watch. You should also subscribe, because that's a good thing to do. And there are loads more RPGs on the channel for you to watch if they're your bag, and lots of other things. Go to dicebreaker.com. Go to youtube.com/dicebreaker, the channel you're already watching, and go to dicebreaker.myshopify.com, and we will see you very, very soon.